Ladies and gentlemen, totally enjoy the show, everyone. I'm never hard on anyone, and I don't like to be critical about that girl that made that plain wedding dress, but I do want to say good on her for getting the 14,000 subscribers. I'm like, how on earth? I mean, if you would have seen this wedding dress, you wouldn't have been judging it because you guys are good. You're like me. You would never judge. You wouldn't even dislike the video. You would just say, that's not a wedding dress I would wear, and leave it at that. And you would not comment negatively. You would not judge because you guys are my great fans. But some of you might, I don't know what you do, but I wouldn't. Um, so yes, so I'm like, oh my God, this dress was like so plain. I'm like, holy, like I've seen like old ladies wear dresses that are nicer. I'm like, no, not all old ladies dress badly or anything, but I'm like, an old lady in like a hospital would wear a nicer dress. Not that okay, that's pretty mean, but I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like shocked. I'm like, holy, like I was like, she said that was her wedding dress, and I'm like, oh my God, no way, really? I'm like, it's not even a bridesmaid's dress in my opinion. But great on her, good for her. I don't like to be judgmental. I hate being rude, but I'm just like, how on earth did you get 14,000 subscribers? I'm like, and she had all these likes on her video. I'm like, oh my God, like who is liking your videos? And I mean, I'm not going to be hard on her. I don't want to judge her. But if you saw this wedding dress, a lot of my fans are really cool and edgy like me. So they're like really awesome. So they're like, if they saw it, they'd be like, that's not a wedding dress that I would wear. And I know you guys are great like me. You would never judge her directly. You would never go on her channel and say anything mean or dislike it because you're nice like me. You're all nice like me. Well, not all of you. Maybe some of you aren't, um, but I'm nice like that. I would never go on her channel and be like, "Oh my God, that wedding dress." I would never ever do that. I'm not like that. But I mean, I was just stunned. I'm like, oh my God, that's a wedding dress. And she was cute. And I think she lost 30 pounds. So she might lose a bunch of weight and be really gorgeous and be thin. And maybe she'll change what she sews. But I'm like, that's a wedding dress? I'm like, oh my God. And I mean, her husband is a good looking guy. Like, he's a cute guy. I'm like, that's cute. He's in love with her. I'm like, that's adorable. And like, aw. But I'm like, holy, I would never wear a wedding dress like that. Like, for my channel, of course. I'm like, my wedding dress would be like perfect, and I wear like lots of details. And I mean, she's on a budget. She can't even work. She can't work, and she can't. She's only making $100 to $1,000 a month on YouTube, which is great, and that might be why people are subscribing to her because she's gonna have no job or anything other than this channel, so they want to support her, which is cute. It's great that people want to support her. But I'm like, yes, obviously on a budget, you can only buy so much. You're not gonna have the most extravagant wedding dress ever, and that's fine. I respect that. I know that some people have a really hard time with money. Finances are tough right now for a lot of people, especially with COVID. COVID has caused people to lose their jobs and people are unemployed. So I get that. But I'm like, oh my God, look, if I made a wedding dress. Well, first of all, I don't know how to make a wedding dress, so maybe I should be quiet. But if I was to pick a wedding dress, it would be lots of detail, but I don't know how to sew. So I mean, maybe I should shut my mouth, right, guys? But I'm like, okay, so if I was to design a wedding dress, it would not look like that. But I'm like, it's cute, whatever. You're like, oh my God, it looks like a summer dress, and it's just like, I was just shocked. I'm like, she's obviously very happy that she got married and all that. I'm like, and she was just a very simple person in terms of like what her style was. But good on her. You know what? Like everybody needs to do what makes them happy. I like ultra glam, but I'm drop dead gorgeous, and she could be drop dead gorgeous. She might lose weight. She did lose 30 pounds or something, so I'm like, good for her. But I'm like, I'm drop dead gorgeous. I mean, if I'm gonna wear something, it's gonna be something like this, right? Which is really nice. But to each their own, and that's how people have different choices of what they want to watch on YouTube. They're gonna watch something they like. If they like her, they're gonna watch her. If they like me, they're gonna watch me. If they like both of us, they're gonna watch both of us. So good that YouTube has an opportunity for everyone to share on their platform. Bye now.